what Roe versus Wade did, it took the power from the states and put it in the federal government. Our Constitution has the 10th Amendment that if it was not specifically laid out when the founding fathers created our Constitution, the power goes to the states, as in the case of abortions. Roe versus Wade took that power from the states and made it a federal issue that when the rule was made, it was from sea to shining sea. But that is not exactly how our founding fathers wanted. And we're talking about this issue, but other issues as well. This is where we have the debate concerning necessarily interstate commerce, gun rights, even LGBTQ rights have come up under this debate since they were not originally laid out by the founding fathers. So all Roe versus Wade was took that power away from the states. And with this leaked document, it does not abolish abortion in the United States. What it does, though, is put that power back into the state's choice and into their state legislatures to make the decision for their own community.
But looking at it from the UK, it's a very strange way to protect rights, isn't it? To have it in a sort of ruling that can be meddled with by the judiciary in this way. I mean, we very much have a legislature that's separate from that. And people would say, would it not just be more simple just to have it codified and set in legislation?
Well, I don't think this is the first time the UK has looked at actions in the US and kind of scratched their head and thought it was a little weird what we were doing or how our government was set up. But that's what makes us the teenagers on the international scene. And you're right from that perspective, except for the fact that you cannot compare, and just like you can't compare certain regions within the UK and say they're exactly the same, you cannot compare the community of maybe New York State, a blue state, or California, and say it has the same type of community and principles, whether we're talking about economically, socially, or even diplomatically, that a state like Florida or Texas or even Tennessee, where I am, and that there's different communities that reside in those states, hence why we have red and blue states. And all this is doing, and all that the SCOTUS leaked memo has proven, is that this SCOTUS, as it stands right now, wants to start returning that power back to the states, which is a very conservative principle and one that Donald Trump ran on. And your intro was correct. This would be one of those last legacies, probably his strongest legacy, that he would do in fulfilling a campaign promise by returning the power.
Well, you think it would be one of his strongest legacies? I mean, a lot of people are saying it's handing a gift to President Biden because it's just, I mean, apparently I was hearing Senator Warren claiming 69% of Americans are opposed to removing abortion rights.
Well, that's what's interesting about this, is the timing of this. I mean, 24-hour news cycle ago, this was not on our radar. There are lots of things here in the United States that we're dealing with. And then just out of the blue, a vote that took place, a part of the SCOTUS back in January and February, was leaked out. And now all of a sudden, this is the dominating conversation. So it's either happened for one of two reasons. It's happened so that there could be so much public outcry at this decision and the possibility that it could take, that it's hoping this will put pressure on the SCOTUSes to change their mind or not make the vote itself. Or when we're talking about, because we are in an election year and magically all of these things happen, usually become very active in the United States during election year, this is actually going to motivate some of those socially voters, social standard voters, to get up and get involved. But we're still 8 months out from our November election, so I don't know if this is necessarily meant to get that ball rolling in a very blue Democratic kind of bored electorate right now. I don't know if it's a little bit too early to start playing that card.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.